The Queen of the Skies has been an aircraft synonymous with long-haul travel. Flying passengers all over the world for more than half a century, many of us experienced our first faraway trip on board one of these jumbos. But did you know there was also a specific 747 designed for the short-haul market? The 747-400D was a modified 747-400 created for one specific market, Japan. Japanese airlines needed a solution to flying many people short distances, and Boeing had the solution. In fact, before the 747-400D, Boeing had developed the 747SR as a short-range version of the 747-100 to meet this need. The 747-400D was the successor to this plane. The standard 747-400 that we all know and love usually has seating for between 410 and 420 passengers in a three-class configuration, although it has a high exit limit of 550 or 660 passengers, depending on the emergency exits installed. The 747-400D, D for domestic, accommodated up to 568 passengers in a two-class layout, or as many as 660 in a single-class configuration. From the outside, the aircraft was the same as a regular 747-400, apart from one small detail. The 747-400D had no winglets installed. These wingtips improve efficiency once up at cruise altitude. However, they also add weight to the plane. For airlines operating long-haul with the aircraft, the benefits overcome the drawbacks of the weight. However, for airlines operating short-haul who never really get up to cruising altitude, there would be no benefit to having this additional component on the plane. Another little tell is the extra windows on the upper deck. For a long-haul flight, an upper deck galley with no windows would occupy this space in the bubble. But on the domestic 747, this space was given over to extra seating. The aircraft suffers a range reduction of approximately 50% compared to other 747s. In fact, its limit was somewhere around the 3,000 nautical mile marker. However, underneath it all, the 400D was still a regular 747 and could in theory be converted back to a standard model. Only 19 747-400Ds were ever built and only sold to the Japanese market. The operators of the type included Japan Airlines, or JAL, who took the first, and All Nippon Airways, or ANA, who flew the last. ANA's last 747-400D touched down on April 17, 2014 at Tupelo, destined for scrapping. Not only was this the last flight of a 747-400D, but it was also the very last 747 to ever operate in Japan, marking the end to 44 years of continuous service by the 747 in the Japanese market. Although the 747 no longer features in Japan, airlines still use high-capacity planes for short-haul routes. Only today, it's more often special configurations of 787s and A350s that take on this role. Have you ever flown in a 747-400D? Did you know about this aircraft? Let us know in the comments. Did you know that we publish over 175 stories every single week on simpleflying.com? Be sure to check the link in the description for more great stories just like this. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe before you go.